All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Talking Coasters. My partner right here, Prime Time Rides. So I actually wanted to we're gonna get in depth with the man, behind Prime Time. So people they want to get to know you better as Alabama's biggest coaster enthusiast. So introduce
Well,
yourself.
all right. So my nickname is Prime. Um, it's always been a childhood name. My dad name is Prime Senior, so everybody calls me Prime Junior. And yeah, I'm from Mobile, Alabama. Roll Tide, yeah, Roll Tide. and that's just who I am. It's an Alabama kid, born and raised in Alabama. You know, 32 years old.
Ooh, he's giving us all the deets. Oh, wait, wanted. Let's see that before we get in. Let's see that wanted shirt. Who's wanted?
You talking about my shirt?
You're talking about your
Oh,
shirt.
oh, this still vintage, baby. This still vintage. Oh yeah.
So,
Hey, big shout out to Stevie. Hey, this Steve right here, just in case y'all didn't know. Hey, this Steve. You know what I'm saying?
all right.
Yeah.
So, still vengeance is your current number one, correct?
Still Vengeance is my current number one. It's my current number one. And yes, I have written Gwazi. For people,
Hey, we're not getting that right now. So let's take us to the journey. Take us to the journey of how you became a coaster enthusiast. Like, because Alabama doesn't have many coasters at all. So tell us how you became this coaster enthusiast that you are today, right now.
So I always grew up playing baseball. So when I got out of college, I started playing competitive softball. So I traveled the country a lot playing competitive USSSA slow men softball. Okay, so one day we had a tournament in Atlanta, Georgia. That was like 3 years ago. Yeah, about 3, 4 years ago, something like that. About 3, 4 years ago, and the tournament got canceled for whatever reason, due to an issue. So we was bored, me and my teammates. So me just being adventurous, I was like, let's find something to do in Atlanta. So I was like, it's a Six Flags, over Georgia, like right up the street. Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's go check it out. So we went to go check it out, and and got the little fast lane, fast plus, fast pass, whatever. And we rode everything. And we was just going around the park, acting like big kids, riding all the rides. I didn't even know what airtime was. Floater, ejector, nothing. I'm just riding rides, having fun. You know what I'm saying? And I was with my teammates, and it was one of the best times of my life. So, so that's when I got home and started Googling and YouTubing, other parks besides Six Flags. So that's how it started.
So that's awesome. So you found the enthusiast ways and everything, and so I guess so you went home, you Googled everything, you're YouTubing everything. So that's how you kind of discovered the community. What kept you in it? Because like you said, because you said you kind of didn't know what airtime was. So was it kind of like the technicality that kind of kept you in the community, wanting to do more? Was it people's opinions? Tell us about that.
So I started YouTubing stuff, and and obviously, guys like Coastal Studios, Airtime Thrills, El Toro, the mainstream popular guys on YouTube,
Mm.
they created such good content about these coasters and educating me on, what floater is, ejector. And I was like, well, damn, I experienced that. My ass came out the seat. That's what he's talking about. Like, no, like, so I started YouTubing like top coasters in the world, like on YouTube. And guess what popped up?
The
Cedar Point.
mm-hmm.
Cedar Point. So I was like, man, you know what? I gotta book me a trip to Cedar Point. I gotta go ride the biggest, bestest, baddest, tallest roller coasters out there. This was 2000 late 2018. So I took a flight, went up there to Ohio, went over to Sandusky, and I'm going around the park and all these roller coasters, dragster and all that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, like who built this? Like this shit is real.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, how I didn't know about this. And so yeah, so I started riding all these rides and I'm having a good time. And I finally made it to the back of the park. And guess what sits in the back of the park?
Your number one coaster.
The best roller coaster in the freaking world. So got on the train. I think I had the second to last back row on it. Changed my life forever. So when I got off Still Vengeance, that day, that time I became a coaster enthusiast. Like addicted to roller coasters. Still Vengeance made me addicted to roller coasters. Addiction. When I got off, I was like, what just happened to me? This was almost better than sex. Almost. Like close. I was like, bro, what just happened?
Ooh.
And I became a coaster enthusiast. 2018 when late 2018 when Still Vengeance came out.
Well, I would definitely say everyone has that one ride that kind of made him a coaster enthusiast. Mine's Viper over at Six Flags Magic Mountain that just gave me the feeling that hey, I could do anything. I know Airtime Thrills. You mentioned him. His was actually Goliath at Six Flags Magic Mountain that said, hey, I could go on anything. So it is kind of incredible how your coaster, your kind of gateway coaster was arguably one of the best coasters in the world. Well, I can't say arguably; it is one of the best coasters in the world. But arguably, the top coaster in the world is the one that brought you into that. So that's actually a great experience. And I'm glad you mentioned that and got you in there. So speaking of that, I'm gonna segue into. It seems like you said Coaster Studios, El Toro Ryan, Airtime Thrills. They kind of gave to you you felt like they gave you information, so they gave you info for this community. And lately you've been paying it forward because we all know about Airtime Mike. He had his Juneteenth celebration, and it was hey, get minority coaster enthusiasts out there because we all know there's kind of like a gateway to that. And you kind of did your own thing too. So you actually had your Juneteenth celebration. So actually on the federal holiday at Carowinds. So tell us about that.
2019, 20. I was meeting people in the coaster community, that looks like me, that are minorities, that ride roller coasters too. Because obviously, when I was venturing off by myself, I didn't really see too much of minorities, and people that look like me, enjoy this. Because like when I ask my cousins,
Mm-hmm.
like if I go ask my cousins, be like, "Hey, cousin, like let's go to Six Flags and get on the biggest roller coaster," and they were like, "F that!" Like black people don't do that. Like we are made to stay on the ground, sir. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yes.
like, man, I can't get my family to go with me. I can't get my cousin to go with me. So I end up meeting, a few people, that look like me, and you know, and they introduced me to people, that look like me. You know what I mean? So we
Yes.
was like, man, so I met a guy named Robert Smith, and he had an idea about starting a melanin. Melanin means just color, skin color.
Yeah, a melanin coaster group. So pretty much
Right.
a fancy way of saying, hey, minorities, let's get together.
Right. That's basically what it's saying. Like, hey, any minorities, people of color, want to, get together, form a group, and let's start traveling the country together and enjoying, our passion, theme parks, amusement parks, and riding roller coasters together. So, so I partnered with Robert with Melanin Coaster Enthusiast Network, and so when I partnered with him, we started growing. We're currently about 300 members right now, and once a month, my goal is to create a location for us to meet at and have a prime time link up and enjoy roller coasters together. With our people. So yeah, but my first annual was at Carowinds June 20th, and that was to celebrate Juneteenth. For the federal holiday, the Black federal holiday that they made. So
Oh, so that is awesome. Like I said, I might be a little biased because I actually know you, but I was watching the stories when I was heading back to the West Coast, and I was really impressed by by the turnout. I was glad that people had options, and I'm always a firm believer in, as if you have multiple groups, multiple gatherings that do the same thing, they're not there to compete. They're there to enhance people's choices because, like me, I came from the West Coast, so I had to be back on Monday because I had to go to work on Tuesday. So I wasn't able to join your gathering, but there was other people that were able to do both, or there's other people that they couldn't do one because it was too far. So it gave them another location to celebrate, to celebrate it and get back to the community. So I was really excited about that.
Right. So no mean to cut you off. I want to give a shout out to Airtime Mike. Airtime Mike hosted an event kind of like mine for Juneteenth, but he hosted his in Virginia at King's Dominion. And I really respect him, about that. I really did want to come. But like you said, having choices, it was a lot of people that couldn't get to Virginia.
Mm.
There's a lot of people couldn't fly to Virginia, so closer down south, in Charlotte, Atlanta's closer. We had a lot of people come up and meet us in Charlotte from Atlanta,
Mhm.
in the southern states, that couldn't get on a plane and fly to Virginia. So it did give us options. So basically, we had two Juneteenth meetups, the one Airtime Mike hosted and the one I hosted. And it gave people options because a lot of people couldn't go to Virginia or have the means to go to Virginia.
Yeah,
So,
it's awesome. So then it turned to an event because I said, because I know every time Mike had about 27 people that more people wanted to go. You had about 25 people to 30 people who wanted to go. So it essentially turned a 30-person event into a 60-person event, symbolizing the same thing, which is always awesome. So hopefully next year it grows, and like I said, and you're still doing your thing. But also, what makes you, well, because I know that, what makes you want to be a host to bring people together? Because it seems like that's like your main mission, is to, because you had that experience with, and let me backtrack. You were talking about, you went to over Georgia, so you went with your team members, and and that kind of solidified that for you, because you said, hey, this is a team experience. You went to Cedar Point, and you went with, I'm not sure if it was team members, but you went with some friends that also, it was like your team members. So it seems like anywhere you go, you're building this team. What makes you want to bring that just to what you said, the Melon and Coaster Enthusiast Network? What makes you want to build this team?
I don't know, man. I just had a vision that, that, people of color, can venture out and do adventurous things and do different things in life, you know, instead of having a pattern of, doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah, so because I'll say it, so I'm gonna say people that like you, people that look like us, or just minorities in general,
Yeah.
we're kind of painted into a box, and
Yeah.
so I kind of used, my coaster enthusiast as an avenue, and now I realize that when people see me with the camera, with whether it's a video camera, whether it's with my mirrorless, my big camera out there, that for lack of better terms, we could do more than dribble a ball, and or dribble a ball, rap a lyric, or sell drugs. And so we could do more. So I kind of use that as an avenue, as a liaison to talk to people, and that's the one thing I have noticed with everybody on Airtime Mike's event too. We had photographers, we had travelers, people who did reviews. We had a lawyer. We have a bunch of people that says, hey, we were able to get out of the stereotyped box and then come together to celebrate our, not only our what we all like, which is enthusiasts, but also our differences as well too. And I think I've seen, kind of from your story right now, that you bring that teamwork, because you said different people, they come to make a team, and a team is some of its parts, and you feel like you can make the coaster lifestyle and just enthusiasts and the park adventures better with the team. And I do really like how you are bringing that. And
Yeah. Just want to bring awareness to it. Anybody on my team, that's in, the Melanin Coaster Enthusiast group, when they come out and meet me at my primetime link up, If anybody needs any help, I mean, I give the shirt off my back.
Mm.
Anything, I just want people to have fun, be comfortable, mingle with their people, enjoy coasters, and travel together. You know,
All right.
fun.
So you hit it on the head right now. So we're going to kind of segue into this. Tell us about, because I know you kind of mentioned it, but let's go more in depth now. Because since I'm trying to be professional, I might make these chapters. So we're going to talk about primetime link ups. So that's the buzzword. Tell us. I know you kind of hit it on a little bit, but hammer it down. Tell us all about these primetime link ups. Trademark pending.
Hey, prime time link ups. I want to have one prime time link up once a month, and that's different part of the country. Once a month, from enthusiasts that live in the north, east coast, west coast, in the south, have once a month. Carowinds was a big event for us. We came together, got VIP ride access. It was really a memorable moment. And my next primetime link up is at Cedar Point, July 19th. And I got 35 people on the list because they seen how big it was, when we went to Carowinds. So July 19th, we meet up, we eat, we drink, we talk shit, we ride roller coasters, we have fun, we be there for one another. And like you said, I done met photographers. We got graphic artist designs that's in the group. Matter of fact, we got one in the group now that's, just networking, she's gonna, make our logo, you know. So just meeting professional people, hanging out at theme parks, going, traveling together, mingling together, and it's just a great time. And I'm gonna do one once a month.
Oh, this sounds exciting. Hopefully you're able to meet your goal. Hopefully I'm able to go to one of these link ups.
I'm doing it because it's a lot of people on my team, in my group, that's out west.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? I'm coming. Prime time link up coming.
All right. Started with people of we'll say melanin complexion. But is it open to everybody? Because coasters, it's a hobby for everyone. People come in all shapes, sizes, orientations, like that too. So I know kind of like I can't even say the focus because it doesn't seem like the focus is just on minorities. But say, hey, can anybody join?
Come on now, everybody got spouses that are Caucasian, other races, white, interracial marriages. Of course, you can bring your spouse and your friends. Some of my best friends are, other colors. It's me. Like if they want to come hang out with me in my primetime link up, hell yeah. You know, the only thing like far as like the actual group that I have on just Facebook right now,
Mm.
it's just for you know our melanin community.
Mm-hmm.
But far as like when we go to these theme parks and we travel, of course your friends of other color, your spouses, hell yeah, we all mingling together having fun.
Nice,
You know,
nice. So it seems like kind of
you know,
like primetime link
dude,
ups.
it's just a brand.
Yeah. No, so it seems like primetime link ups is a little bit, even though they're related and they collaborate. It seems like it's a little bit separate from the Melanin Coaster Group network. It's pretty much what you're saying. So he's saying, hey, anybody could come to a primetime link up, but right now, since it's closely associated with the Melanin Group, that right now that group is kind of sectored off for the moment.
Right. I mean, just the group, just to give us that separate platform,
Mm-hmm.
just for us
Mm-hmm.
to, do what we do, like far as like in that Facebook group.
Yes.
Before, like when we venture off to these parks,
Hmm.
actually having fun, and we're out there, spouses, friends, community, whoever want to join us and have fun, hell yeah. Like
Nice.
that's what we do. My goal is to bring people together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring people together no matter what, no matter where your background is, no matter how you grew up and everything. I could definitely say that Prime definitely wants to bring people together. Tell us about this network. Tell us how tell us what you're doing to grow it pretty much.
Basically, like I said, it's via Facebook. It's called Melanin Coaster Enthusiast Network.
Hmm.
So basically, we go out on social media. We find ride operators who are melanin. We find other coaster enthusiasts who are melanin, and we simply reach out to them via inbox. We'll send them the link to our group, tell them what we're about. You know, and we've been getting a lot of positive feedback. And they'd be like, "Oh man, I didn't." A lot of people write me back and say, "I didn't even know this existed."
Hmm.
Like, matter of fact, the admin Dejan over roller coaster enthusiasts,
Hmm.
a group. It's an open group.
Hmm.
He's a melanin person, and that's a popular Facebook group. And I'm in that group, and I invited him to our group, and he was like, "Wow, I didn't even know our people even did this. Like, I didn't even know this even existed." So I reach out to him. He has friends. Other people have friends, family members that like coasters who are melanin. They invite them, and we network together.
Hmm.
And that's how we currently grow it. I done seen a lot of coaster enthusiasts on Instagram.
Hmm.
Like they hit me like, "Wow, I didn't even know this existed. I didn't even know our people liked the roller coaster. I thought I was the only one." You know, so
Yeah, so it's awesome. So I think what I've seen with the network, it's two things because it brings awareness to say, hey, we could come together to not only these primetime link ups, but just these other events that have ERT and everything else. So we could congregate together to have a better showing. But I think it also helps people who might not be the most knowledgeable enthusiasts or the most diehard enthusiasts to kind of come in and feel safe and say, hey, I'm allowed to like this and kind of grow the knowledge base. Do you think that's what it's doing?
that's exactly what it's doing because, um, like when I became a roller coaster enthusiast, like I said, I didn't know what was Cedar Point. I didn't know what ejector airtime was and
Hmm.
floater. Like I didn't know. But and a lot of people that's joining my group now,
Hmm.
they don't know. But they meet people like me now who is knowledgeable. People like you,
Hmm.
Alan,
Yes.
is knowledgeable. And we feed them knowledge and we're like, wow, I didn't know that. Wow. I didn't know, Kara Williams was in Charlotte. I didn't know about ejector airtime.
Hmm.
You know, wow, like I didn't know what a ride POV means.
Hmm.
And people like you, me, and other people in the group who are experienced coaster enthusiasts, they talk to somebody who looks like them, makes them feel more comfortable, and they get information at the same time. It's wonderful.
All right. So we talked about your story. So of how you're Alabama's biggest coaster enthusiast. We talked about
Well,
these primetime link ups. We talked about the network. So let's talk about just primetime. What's next? What's next on the docket for primetime?
I just feel like this melanin coaching group that I'm blessed to be a part of. Um, I know I have big dreams, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. I'm gonna just use Ace for an example.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ace, the roller coaster is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
They're affiliated with all the parks. Everybody knows them. That's my goal, to get my minority group known to the coaster community.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my goal. Like, wow, this minority group is big. It's
Mm-hmm.
popular. It's affiliated. I want to be a part of that. And I want to be the first minority club to ever do something like this in the roller coaster community because it's unheard of.
Mm-hmm. Before we wrap this up, any closing remarks? Anything else that you want to say? Anyone you want to shout out?
You put me on the spot, but I just want to say thank you for all the people that I met in the coaster community
Mm-hmm.
when I didn't know squat about roller coasters. I appreciate you feeding me knowledge, whether it was via YouTube, whether I spoke to you on the phone, met you through a mutual friend. I thank you, and it made me, the roller coaster enthusiast I am today. And I want to thank y'all. I don't want to leave out nobody, far as saying names, but you know who you are. Alan kind of put me on the spot. I ain't got nothing written down. So, I love y'all. I want to thank you. And top 5 coasters: Stevie, Velocity Coaster, Gwazi, Fury, and X2. Top five. That's all that matters. Everything else just fall in place.
That is a very that's a very strong top five, and I think all of them are my top. I know all of those are my top 10.
Okay, Alan, I think we need to end the interview now. I think you the type to say. I think you the type of dude that says, that says like intimate is overrated or some shit.
Intimate is overrated, but I
Oh,
love
okay.
Intimate because I love Intimate, and they're actually like my favorite manufacturer, but they're overrated. But anyway, so I think that's all it is. So we're talking coasters. So we'll see him next time when we talk about this stuff, and we are out of here.